Hi everyone, good morning. So as you can see, wait, so as you can see in my screen, this is our previous chapter slide, which is chapter 6, location-based service. So we already finished this chapter, location-based service. So just for recap, location-based service is a service that we include or that provided with our app to provide the location. It can be a real time or not a real time. So before we start, not this chapter, this is only a recap. So before we start with our chapter 6, I want to share a link, a video, a YouTube link actually. This is like an explanation to what is the LBS, or what we call as location-based service. Yes, I already shared the link in our message box there. So let's take around 3 minutes to watch the video first. Okay, you may watch your own.
In the smartphone age, something that we often take for granted is having the right information at the right place and time. We have the weather customized to our own neighborhoods, our phones offer us faster routes to work without even asking, and finding a cheap place to eat rarely takes more than a search for the word food. This constant need to match the right information with the right place and time sounds time consuming, and yet it isn't. This is partly owed to something called location-based services. Location-based services, or LBS, use real-time geodata from a mobile device to provide information, entertainment, or security. Now, if that sounds confusing, think of it as a way our devices can provide us with information in a geographically relevant context. Although these types of services play an increasingly important role in our lives, the way they work is actually pretty simple. LBS are made possible through the GPS our phones are manufactured with. From here, other applications take this information and integrate it with other media or content. LBS enables small businesses to give consumers more relevant recommendations, for consumers to search for more relevant results, or for consumers to simply share more relevant information. A simple idea, but the results have really taken us places. Take Volkswagen, for example. The company took public service announcements to a new level at a Japanese movie theater by using geofencing. While moviegoers were watching what they thought was a regular preview of a car driving, the company sent out messages to each phone in the room. Once all eyes were off the road, the car crashed, emulating what would happen in a real texting and driving accident. Now, what was so remarkable about this promotion wasn't the ad on the screen, or even the message that went to the cell phones, but simply the fact that they were able to happen together, in the right place, at the right time. This new added level of relevance to information is the real key behind LBS, and things are only really getting started. Picture a not so distant future where the geography of the world is just teeming with this added information. You receive push notification coupons for the very same shirt you're holding in the store, or your phone begins counting down your wait time once you've reached the bus stop. These innovations already exist in our world today, and there's no telling where we'll go from here. Location-based services, creating a world of possibility from the world around us.
So yeah, have you watched the video, the LBS? So actually, that's a short explanation about LBS, the location-based service. So if you watch the video, okay, the LBS is a real-time service. Okay, here they use the real-time service that use the geodata, the location. Okay, so it is used for a lot of function. For example, that start in the video just now, for entertainment, information, and security. But I think you you know what is LBS, okay? Example of LBS is the Grab card, Uber, and then the game, the Pokemon Go that I mentioned last week. That all the application of LBS, location-based service. Okay, so that one is for chapter 5. Okay, so maybe if you want to, because you have an assignment, so maybe if you think you can apply this LBS into your application, that will be good. Okay, so now we will start with chapter 6. Okay, so in chapter 6, as you can see, specialized instrument and device. Okay, I think you know what is instrument and what is device. It is a device. I mean a device, electronic device. Okay, so we will see what is instrument and what is device. So this is are the objective of this chapter. So as you can see, we have 40 slide here. Okay, 40 slide for this chapter 6. So the first one is basic requirement of a camera app. Okay, so in this chapter 2, we are going to see the camera app, or what's the requirement, for your camera app, or is it necessary for you to have a camera for your application. And then second, identify and explain other hardware sensor. Okay, so I think at the end of this chapter, but yeah, at the end of this chapter, we are going to see what is sensor. I think, or I believe, you know what is sensor, but you do not know what is the proper explanation of sensor. And then the third objective is develop app that could capture image and video. Okay, they can capture, or how to capture two things, image and video. So image and video, of course, you need to implement the camera app, the camera in your device. Next is app that can play audio and play video file. So this is are the objective of this chapter 4. Okay, so the first one, camera. Camera is the camera, okay, that our application, our application is installed into a device that have this function, camera. So do we need camera for our application or not? So this is like a flow chart, not a complete flow chart. However, there's a flow, there's a logic for the consideration. So the first one here, okay, camera is a must. The first consideration, do you need camera for your application, or your application can can do the function without the camera? So if we go with the no first, so if the camera is not a must, so maybe we can just get a photo, because some application you can use, but you need to ask permission first to get photo from the gallery. That means it is an existing photo. It's already there in your gallery. You just need to re-tag the photo. So that means you don't need the camera. So if the camera is not necessary, so you can use this function, get photo from the gallery. So that's the end. Just no. But for yes, okay, let's look at a yes. That means your application need a camera. So if yes, okay, there's two logic. So first, if camera, just a camera without special processing. Special processing maybe for your app, you need some kind of, for example, special effect. Okay, you need a particular type or special type of camera to use to implement with your application. Okay, so if it is yes, you need to write here, you need to write your own camera module. Why you need to write your own camera module? Because here you need special processing, like I said, maybe you need a special effect or any special function that you need to implement together with your camera. So you need to run your own. If not, but you still just you just need the camera, the basic function, just like taking photo. So no special processing, no special function, no additional function. here. You just use the existing camera app. So for camera consideration, okay, first yes or no, and then even if yes, is there any special needs or any special processing that need to be implemented with your camera? If yes, then you need to write, you need to write your own camera module, implement or write the code, the function that you want. If not, then you just use the existing camera app, the built-in camera. Okay, so this one is the first one, consideration. So here, okay, so here the method, okay, get from the library, get from the gallery, okay, get from the gallery. This one in the mod, here we have two level, first in the module level and then in the event handler. So the first one in the module level, okay, register for activity result. Okay, so this one is to get, so activity result, contract, get content. Okay, get from the gallery. So get the content and then the URI, the link. Okay, so this one is get from the gallery in the module level, and then second in the event handler. Okay, so event handler, we have this one, set on click listener. That's when there's a button and then get the content. So this is from the module level just now and the event handler for the gallery. Okay, get image, actually, get photo. I use photo. So here actually get photo from the gallery. This one is, this one this one if you don't need the camera. Okay, like I said, you just get get whatever that you already store in your gallery. You don't have to go for the camera, re-upload back from the gallery. Okay, so this one is the method to get from the gallery. So this method, okay, if you are using the existing camera app, that means under the consideration, you need to have this camera application. Okay, so for camera application, if you need, you have to remember just now in slide number 3, you can use the existing, or you need to have a special function, like I said just now, any special effect or any additional function. So there's two if you want to use the camera. So this one is the first one, the use existing camera app. That means you don't have to build, you don't have to write your own code. So of course here, the first one, minimum code. Why minimum code? Because it's already there. You just need to link, you just need to implement with your app. You don't have to write too many code. And then use intent. Okay, intent here in this for this function, camera, intent is object. Okay, it is an object, or what we call as a messaging object, message object that we use to request another app component. Okay, that we use to request another app component. That's mean from your app, for example, my app, I request to the camera component. That's mean I want to use your function. My my application wants to use the camera function because this is under the existing camera. So you just want to use the camera function. So of course you need to use intent. You need to link between your app and then the camera function. And then second, build your own camera. Build your own camera is the second one. Okay, of course, you need to write your own code because you want to have that specific function just now. Okay, the camera is there, but you want additional function, for example. So, of course, write your own code. Okay, this is a must. If you want any additional function other than existing app, you need to write your own code. And then use the camera X. Okay, so there are two methods if you want to use the camera. Use your own camera, use the existing camera app, or use your own camera. So this is the basic. Okay, the basic. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the first one just now. This one is the camera app. Okay, camera app, that's mean you just use the existing camera. This one. Okay, so let's look at the first one first. Okay, use existing camera app. This is the logic. Okay, like I said, you need to send. There's one thing I mentioned just now about the intent. Okay, the intent is, like I said, it's a messaging object that we use to request. Okay, request to another app. So here, the another app that I mentioned is the camera app. So let's say this is your app. Okay, they send the intent. That means they send a request to use this camera app. Okay, they send a request using this intent. Intent is the is the messaging. Okay, intent is the messaging object. Okay, messaging object to request what? To request to use the function. So your app will send like a message to this camera app to use the function. It's a request message to use the function. So this is your camera app. Actually, this one is, you can consider as one camera app and then the camera. Basically, this is the camera app. Okay, and then once it is processed, the request processed by this camera app, they will return you like a response. Yes, a response. So now if they approve, so you can use the camera, the function, the camera app. Okay, so here in this first one, they just need to send an intent. Okay, intent message. So this one is for the first one. First one is the using existing camera. The one that use less code. Less code, that means you don't have to write your own code. Second here, okay, this is where you build your own camera function. Okay, not the camera, not the not the part of your device. No, stated here, function, okay, not the camera, the function only. I did mention to like a special function or additional function. Okay, so first, this is your app, of course, and then the camera. That means you directly start the camera and then the camera preview. Why you don't have to have this function intent message object here? Because this is your own function. So you don't have to send this request, this messaging object, because this is your own function. Different with this one. Okay, this one with less message, less code, but you need to have this one. Why? So you need to have this intent. Why? Because this is not your own camera. You need to have like a permission to use the function. This one, you don't have the intent. Why? Because this is your own camera, your own function. I'm talking about the function, not the camera that in your device. Okay, the function. So the difference is this one is the intent, need to use the intent and less code. This one, as you can see, no intent, but you need to write your own code. Okay, it's actually fair for both method. So remember, for camera, you have two, which is your camera or existing camera app. So next is manifest declaration. Okay, I already explained what is manifest. In our application, each of our application should have this manifest. Manifest file is a file, our file in our app, our application app that contain all the information about our app. So basically, manifest file is used to declare, to store all the essential information about our app. Okay, so of course you need to have the declaration in the manifest file. So camera permission, okay, camera permission. If using intent, no need permission. Okay, no. Actually, if you're using intent, you need permission. Why? Because you need to send a request. So if using camera, okay, use permission here, Android permission camera. Okay, ask for the permission of the app. And then this is the camera feature. So here, yeah, the hardware. Okay, camera feature is the hardware. So use feature. That means you need to ask to use this feature in your device, in your hardware, which is the camera. So prevent your app from being installed to device that do not include a camera. I can't really give you example because the device here application is your smartphone, but I can't think of any smartphone now that don't have this camera. They will have at least a basic function of a camera, but of course you still need to ask the permission. So I cannot give you example what device that do not include a camera. But here they said, yes, prevent your app from being installed to device that do not include a camera. That is storage permission. Okay, storage permission, of course, if you want to, you need to ask permission to use the storage. Okay, if you see actually 3, 4, 5, the first one here, number 3 storage, fourth is audio, last is location. The difference, as you can see, is only at this one here, right? External storage for storage permission. Next is audio, record audio. That's mean they want to use another function, which is your audio is using the microphone. And then location. Location is the one last week. Okay. Here, the last one. You just look at the last part here. What is the permission that they request? First is to write to the external storage. Here is for audio. Here is for the find location. So this is the permission that they need to ask. Okay, storage, audio, and then the location. Okay, and stated here, Android permission. But what kind of permission here? Storage. Android permission, audio. Android permission, the location. Location is referring to the LBS. Let's check. Okay, so this is the manifest declaration. So all of this, the camera permission, camera feature, uh, storage, audio, location, you need to declare under this file. Okay, because what, like I said, the basic function is this manifest file is to store or to declare any essential information about our app. So now is camera intent. What is intent? Intent is the message object that I mentioned just now. Okay, so now we are using camera intent. Okay, so a quick way to enable taking pictures or videos in your app with very minimum coding effort. Yes, I said you need to use, this one is the first one just now, first method. Okay, you use intent with coding, minimum coding effort. That means you don't have to write a lot of coding compared to the you build your own. Okay, use camera intent, the message just now, the object message. So here, if you see this term, camera intent, okay, remember this thing, minimum coding effort. Okay, so the process. So this is the process. We have 3 here. So first, create an intent using Mediastor action image capture. Okay, so here, like I said earlier, I think we have 2 functions, which is image or video capture. Okay, very minimum coding. You don't have to write a complex one like if you want to build your own camera function. So here you just need to declare you want to take an image or a video. Okay, yes, you use the function of the camera, but the function is different. One is for image, one is for video. Okay, intent. Remember what is intent. Just now I said intent is the ANO. Yeah. So but I find which page number 6. Okay. So you use intent. So what is intent? Intent is a messaging object that we use to send a request to another app. Another app here is referring to the camera app. Okay. So the logic is from your app, you send a request. You send an intent to the camera app. Okay. So there's a two intent here. Like I said, of course, you're using the camera, but two different function. Okay. One is just for image, first just for photo, and then for the video, it's different. And then second is execute the intent using the start activity. Okay. Start activity. So this is the trigger, the event trigger. And then last is set up on activity result to receive the intent result. Okay, if you remember here, I did set this now. I said in the first flow, in the first logic here, your app will send this intent or what we call the messaging object. It's like a request. So after you already process, I did say that this camera app will send a result, or just now I used the term respond to your request. So the response is this one. Okay, activity result to receive the intent result. Basically, your app send a request and then the camera app send you the result. Okay, so this is the process using camera intent. Using camera intent, that means you don't have to build your own camera function. So here is the two activity. Okay, the first one is take a photo. That means this function action image capture. Okay, here is this line. Okay, for the first one, request image capture. Yeah, like I said, you need to send a request. Why you don't have, why you need to send a request? Because you need to use the other applications function. That's not your own camera. So of course you need to send a request. So here request image capture. Okay, dispatch tag picture intent. So this is the function just now. Okay, media store action image capture. Okay, so this one is the override function on activity result. What is on activity result? On activity result, I think from the term, on activity result, if you can refer to this is the last step. This is the term that I used just now is the response. Okay, the result or the response to your request. So here, activity result, that means they're going to return to you the result. Okay, so if request code equal to request image capture, the first function that they send here, okay, if request image capture and the result code is okay, they are going to return you the photo, the image. Okay, like I said, you need to ask permission. So first they ask you permission. You ask permission to the camera app. Second is they're going to return to you the result. Result here is the photo. Okay, the result from the camera function, the photo. Same with this one actually. This is the from the previous code. Okay, so register for activity result. So if okay, and then they have this data in BM. BM is bitmap. Yeah, BM is bitmap. Okay, bitmap is a file of, file type of a photo. Okay, button tag photo. This one is a button for the click listener here for this function for the image capture. Okay, and then as you can see, they have this intent again. Okay, we need to use intent if this is not your on camera function. Okay, so up to this patch, is there any question? If no, please raise your hand. Oui. Thanks, Noel. So here, what your phone camera do, what they can do. This one first. Here is claim vehicle insurance. I'm not sure because I never really use and I do not know. I have no idea why or how to use. I think this is the function, one of the function. Maybe they have like a link with this app to declare or any insurance app. I'm not sure how with this one, but this one is only for an example. Check deposit. I'm not sure to how they use check deposit using a camera, but for search, yes, of course we can search. And then for your information, I'm not sure. Mm, I'm not sure if you know this function of your camera, but I do remember. I think one of my during my degree time, FYP, final year project, they implement this camera, they create another function for their own camera. For example, what I mean is they add the functionality to the camera. So the FYP is they develop a camera, a function. Okay, so you can use your camera, they can use their camera to take a photo of plant, if I'm not mistaken, of a plant. And then once they already take the image, the photo, they will return to you like what kind of plant, like the information of the plant. Okay, so instead of Googling what kind of plant, you can take the photo of the plant and then they will return to you the information. It's like you take a photo of a car and then they will return to you. This is the brand of the car. This is the release year of the car. This is basically the information of the car. Okay, so that's the example of the camera function. Using the camera, yes, we can do searching function. This one I'm not sure what. And then yes, eye test. We can use a camera to do the eye test. Okay, but basically if you don't understand this thing, it's okay because this is only example of the function of your camera. Okay, so even for using your phone, if you have idea, like my friend, they develop a project using the camera, but they need to write a lot of code. Of course, they need to write a lot of code because they cannot use the intent. That's an additional function of the camera. But when you see the result, it's like, that's very cool. Next is save the full size of photo. Size here is literally the size of the photo, the H and W of your photo. Okay, because every photo, even in your gallery, in your device now, every photo or every image that you take, they have the size. So here, the first point, if you give the camera app a file to save into, it save photo. Okay, if you give, that's mean our camera application will store all the photo that they take into a file. So they will save a full size photo. Okay, photo are saved in the public external storage provided by this function. Okay, get external storage public directory. Yeah, photo are saved in this storage, in this function, and then use the directory argument. I think here, yeah, use the directory picture argument. Okay, where you store your photo. What or where? Yeah, where you store your photo. So just now, directory. Save the full size photo, so track authority string and store in dedicated resource file. Okay, the terms now directory. Directory is the path. So here, this is the example of the directory where you want to store your photo, which file. So here, for example, this is your file. Okay, res XML file path, your path, and then the type of file. Okay, so this is an example of your path of the file. Okay, where you want to store the photo. Okay, so here Android schemas, Android APK is Android. So this is your application, and then the path. Okay, external path name. So this is the name to your path. Sorry, this is the name to your file. Okay, file name, and this is the path. The path is the directory, the location. Can I say location? Yeah, I think I can use the term location. Location that you store your file in your device. Okay, so this is the path where you declare this is the file that will keep the original or save the full size of the photo. Here the one just now. Okay, directory picture. That's mean the path, the address, the location. So this is the location. And then your path. Next is file provider. Yeah. Next is file provider. Still save the full size photo. Full size photo, like I said, original size of your photo. Okay, configure the file provider again in the manifest file. Okay, so if you remember again, manifest file is so important. Okay, basically manifest file is where we declare, where we write all the essential information. That's why you need to declare in this manifest file for this file provider. Okay, so here is the provider. This path is the provider. You need to have this, or you need to declare this or configure in your manifest file. So Android name, authorities, exported, permission. Okay, so this is the resources. Okay, the path, HTML_file path, the directory. So, okay, you need to configure. That's mean even though you already read the coding, if you don't configure, if you don't declare in this manifest file, it won't work. Why? Again, everything information should be go under this file. I mean this manifest file. Okay, so you need to declare in this file as well. So here, save the full size. Okay. So here throws exception, create image file. Okay, create image file function. That means you want to create the file. So yeah, we have a comment here, create image file name. And then so we have two value here, timestamp and storage directory. Timestamp is actually the time, the independent time. Yeah, a point of the independent time. This one is the timestamp. So here you can declare the format. In here, they use year, month, date, hour, minute, second. So this is the format. Okay, and then the storage directory. Okay, so get external file directory. This one is the function just now. If you remember, but I don't remember in which patch, but I do remember this function, get external file directory, the location, the address, okay, directory picture. Okay, so this is where you create the file image of your file, sorry, file of your image. And then this is the path. Okay, but this one is for view. Okay, current photo path is equal to absolute path. Okay, so this is a file path to the action view. Okay, this is to view. This one, the first one just now is to create the image file name. Second is to view, action view. But of course, under your image of file name, you can have this method, sorry, this function. Okay, this function, timestamp, the one I said just now, and then the directory, the address. Okay, so this one is the type of file. As you can see, JPEG, JPG. Okay, actually it can, not limited to this actually. You can have any type that proper for your photo, because for photo, I think you know too, we have many type of files. So this one is only example. Okay. So next is still under this one, full size of your photo. Yeah, this one should be the last one. Okay, request tag photo. Okay, request tag photo. So this one is to dispatch tag picture intent. Okay, so ensure that there's a camera activity to handle the intent. This one should have a Boolean function. Tag picture reserve package manager. Tag picture reserve active package. I think why I say Boolean just now. Ensure there's a camera activity to handle the intent. Never mind, ignore what I said just now. So this one, ensure there's a camera activity to handle the intent, to handle the request. Okay, so yeah, request tag. So you need to have a activity that can handle this request. So create the file where the photo should go. Okay, create the file where the photo should go, where you want to store your photo. Okay, should have the directory here. Yeah, directory should be down here. Correct. So create the file where the photo should go. So if it is error occur while creating the file, so it won't process. But if successful, that's mean, like I said, should have a directory, a file where you should store the photo. That's mean once you take the photo, they will save into that targeted file. So here is the link. It's not the link, the URL location of your file. Okay, here. And then tag picture intent, put extra. So this one is just a result. Yeah, correct. This one is the result part. Why I said the result part, you can see at this last line. Start activity for result. That means you return the result. Return the result as in you give or you send the photo. You send the requested photo. So this one should be the last part for the save the full size of photo. So next, decode scale image. Scale, okay. Scale, that's mean it is not the full size, or it is not the original. Just now I used the term original with the full size. So now you need to decode. That's mean you need to modify your image. Okay, modify maybe in terms of size, or yeah, usually in terms of size. So this is so normal. So app may running out of memory after displaying too many images. Displaying or store too many images in your file. So image should be scaled to match the size of the destination view, your targeted file. Be scaled, that's mean, like I said just now, modify. Maybe you can modify the size. Sorry, the app will modify the size. So here is how you can decode a scale image. So here, yeah, set picture. So get the dimension of the view. Like I said, usually it will be the size of your photo. So here you have this width and height. Okay, so this one is the value of the target width and the target height. Okay, the dimension of the view. And then next is value BM. BM is bitmap. Okay, bitmap option. Bitmap is a type of file. And then get the dimension of the bitmap. Okay, they will do some checking here. As you can see, you have Boolean function, Boolean result here. So they will do some checking. Okay, so value photo for width and height, and then determine how much to scale down the image. Like I said, your app, this is not what the user use. Okay, not the user that will scale down the image. The app will scale down your image, your photo. So here is the process where they are going to resize. I use the I think I can use the term resize because they modify the size of your image. So here they try to configure how much to scale down the image in terms of the H and the W. Yes, scale factor. Okay, math minimum. Photo W is the here weight just now, and then target of the weight, and then the height as well. Okay, so they will do the it's not calculation, like they will do the process to how much they need to adjust or modify the size. And then decode the image file into a bitmap size to fit the view. Okay, so here they will do some checking, ranges, decode bounds, files, scale factor, and then true. So here, bitmap factory. Okay, bitmap factory, they will decode the file. Decode the file is you refer back to this one. Decode the file, that's mean that is the process. What they did is they already resize. Okay, in this lecture note, they don't have the term resize, but I use the term resize. They modify the size of your image, of your photo. So here, bitmap factory decode file, what they already modify, what they already decode. Okay, what photo, what image. So current photo path options also, image view, set image bitmap. That means this is the last result. Yeah, this is the, so this is the last result. Okay, basically your app will do the scaling, not us as the user, your app. So this is the process to decode a scale image, but this is only happen if this one, okay, running out of memory. If not, then it won't. In other words, this is not a proper, it's not a, in other words, I think, yeah, in the daily word that we use, maybe we can use the app will compress our file. Compress our file, here is the process. In the back end, maybe we see as the user, the file is resized. The app will be compressed, but at the process there, actually they do some decoding. They will scale down our image, our photo. So next is barcode scanning. Since I think all of us have the MySejahtera, I assume, okay, we have this MySejahtera app, so you should know what is barcode scanning. Okay, so yeah, you need to use the function of your camera here. So barcode scanning is the ML, machine learning, or barcode scanning API, application programming interface. Okay, machine learning here is another knowledge. That's mean, yeah, machine learning is another knowledge. It's like the IoT, AI, artificial intelligence, VR, visual reality, and then AR, augmented reality. So ML is another knowledge. So, another knowledge in computer science. So they implement, they merge, they combine this ML into the function of your camera. Like I said just now, the camera you used to take a photo of plant, and then they will return to you the information about the plant. So it's like the combination of the application. That's why here you need to use API. Okay, API, as we already know, maybe API is used to communicate between the application. Yeah, between the application, communication application. That's why you need to this API. Okay, between your app and then your camera app. So barcode scanning. Barcode scanning on device, no need a network. Okay, no need a network. But sometimes, okay, I will agree to this statement. Yes, no need a network. But I encounter a situation where I don't have a network on my device, but the barcode need a network. For example, okay, if you go to a restaurant, I'm not saying all. Some of the restaurant now they're using the barcode instead of the menu. Yeah, the menu. Okay, so they don't have this barcode, they don't have a menu anymore. Instead, they will use a barcode scanning, barcode reader. Okay, so some of the menu, when you want to scan them, you need to have a connection or a network. But this one is a minor. On device, no need a network. No, sometimes we need a network. For example, if you go to Kenny Rogers, they won't provide you a menu, and I'm not sure if all restaurant, but some of the Kenny Rogers restaurant, they use a barcode. They won't use a menu, but you need a connection. And then support 2D format. The QR code. I think you know what is QR code. I think QR code, yeah, you know QR code. If you want to go and scan, you need to scan the QR code. And of course, your camera should have this function barcode. Your camera will read this code. So, okay, just nice. It's almost 10, almost 1 hour. So, this is our practical question. Practical question. Our I noticed, where is Ivan and Celine? I think last class too, they didn't attend my class. Celine and Ivan. Lim, they are your groupmate, right? What happened to them? I noticed they didn't attend my last class. So the first one here is Ian. Second is the Daniel. That is okay. So we have a question here. We will discuss, but I will give you time. So the first one is Ian. So you must obtain permission to enable camera feature in your app. Comment on this statement. Yeah, you just need to comment. But actually, yes, we need. I'm not sure what is this question, but yeah, we need to have, even from the code, you need to send a request to enable a camera feature in your app. Or in other words, you need to use the function of the camera. Okay, comment on this app, comment on this statement. Okay, second, how to prevent your app from being installed on device that do not have a camera. Device that don't have a camera. Daniel. Third, what is the quick way to enable taking picture or video? Okay, we have two. I don't remember, but I did explain about taking image and taking videos, two function in your app without a lot of extra code. We need to use this one object, message object. I did mention the term. What is the thing, or what is the way, what is the quick way to use this function without a lot of extra code? That's mean minimum code, minimum work of code. So this one is Ian, Daniel, and Noel. I give you until 5 minutes and share your answer in the message box here. And we will discuss. Okay, 5 minutes. Hi everyone. So I think we can start. Okay. So the first one here, you must obtain a permission to enable camera feature in your app. Comment on this statement. So this is a statement. Okay, they ask you to comment on this statement. But first, before we answer this question, you need to know that, okay, if you need to know that to use a camera feature in our app, we need to ask a permission. We need to send a request to use the function of the camera app. Okay, so yes, you must obtain permission. So here they ask you to comment on this statement. All app all application require permission to access the device feature and hardware. Okay, the feature and the hardware. So permissions to enable camera feature within the app are important to prevent background usage of the camera to obtain data without user knowing. Okay, in other words, they ask permission so that they are aware that they will take or they will use the function of your application. Okay, so we as a user know that they already have the permission to get into our app. Okay, so this one is the first one. Next, question number 2. So, how to prevent your app from being installed on device that do not have a camera? So, use feature. Okay, so they need to check on a camera hardware stated here. So use feature Android name, Android hardware and camera. That means they need to check if your device, okay, if your device have a camera or not. They will check on this one. They will check on your hardware first, and then they will check on the camera. The camera, is it physical? Yeah, is it there or not in the device? In your, maybe in your smartphone. But smartphone, like I said, I do not know what kind of smartphone that do not have camera. Okay, but yes, this is the function. So next, question number 3. Question number 3. Okay, question number 3. What is the quick way to enable taking picture or video in your app without a lot of extra word? Extra code? Okay. Early of this chapter is on this lecture, I did mention that there's two methods. First is, do we need to use the camera or not? If yes, then we will go for yes. But under the yes, there's two more methods. Okay, that's mean the first one. The first one, you use the existing camera. Okay, you use the existing camera. And then the second one is you create your own camera function. Okay, camera function, not the camera function. So this one is for the first one. That's mean you just use the the original. It's not original. The existing camera. Okay. So this is the term that I highlighted here, the intent. Okay, because this is important. That means you just use the intent. Use the intent minimum code. So this is step by step actually. First, of course, create an intent. Intent is the message, object message is now. Okay, so we can have two function. Okay, image capture or video capture, two different function. Second is start. Start, what is your activity? If you want to take an image or if you want to take a video. And then the last one is the return result. Return result here is the response. Like I said, return result here is your photo or even your video. Okay, so basically that's the method or the way to take a picture or photo without a lot of extra work. Okay, use the existing camera app. Yeah, using existing camera app or intent. So up to this page, into this question, for this question, is there any question? If not, can we Oh, no question. Okay, so if not, can we have a short break around 10 minutes and we will continue around 10:20 a.m. Okay, so we will continue around 10:20 a.m. with this part, audio stream. Okay, so see you later. Thank you. So, hi everyone. So let's continue with our next part with audio stream. So, okay, Android maintains a separate audio stream for playing music, alarms, and etc. Okay, separate audio streams. That's why sometimes, for example, our phone, I think most all of our smartphone, okay, they can have let's say you're playing music at your background, you can still get your alarm notification. That means they are together concurrent because they have separate audio stream. Okay, so yeah, that's what Android offer to us. So most of this stream is this function for the audio. Okay, so most of these stream are restricted to the event, system event. So we focus on playing audio using stream music stream, and then to use the stream music stream for background music or sound effect. Sound effect like notification, any notification that we receive. Okay, stream music. So this one is basically about your audio. Okay, so audio playing. So classes, of course, in Android for our application, for the audio function, we have the class. So classes to play sound and video in the Android framework. Okay, so this class, this file will manage, okay, will manage all the audio or like literally the sound from our app. So audio manager manage audio sources and audio output on a device. Audio output is what we can hear. Okay, the notification that we receive, the sound that we receive. So next is media player. So media player plays local and external for streaming file. Streaming is like playing. They're playing all the sounds, the file. So support any media codec that is provided by the Android platform and those that are device specific. Okay, so here this term, okay, this is a type of class in our application. So that provided by Android platform in our Android or any device specific. Device specific is but using our smartphone, I think all of the file we can play, all of the media we can play. But last time I do remember there's certain file that we cannot open. Okay, we cannot open use our device. That means you need to use specific device. You need to use that one particular device to open this type of media, this type of file. But like I said, I think our smartphone now, because we have the latest technology, by right, they should already have this function. That means you can open any kind of, almost all kind of file, almost all type of file using our one smartphone. So recommendation is to use core media format. So again, you need to have a declaration, okay? Permission of declaration. So if you're using media player for your application, you want to produce a sound, maybe just a beep, just you still need to ask for declaration. So here, if you're using media player to stream network-based content, so you need to ask for permission. So use permission Android name. Okay, Android permission internet. This is almost the same with the, I'm not sure, I don't remember in which slide, but the audio, the location, the storage, okay, almost the same. So here, Android permission internet. You need to ask permission to use internet for your application. So if your player application needs to keep the screen from dimming or the processor from sleeping, so you need to the same function. This one is internet. This one is the WAC log. Okay, even in the previous slide just now, I did highlight the same thing. This is the different. Okay, at the back here. Okay, because basically this is how we ask permission. We declare at the last part here in the permission, use permission. Okay, so this one is to prevent or to keep the screen from dying or the processor from sleeping. The processor from sleeping, that's mean from stopping the process or the running process at the background. Okay, WAC lock. That means it will keep on running. So core media format. I'm not going to explain all of this. I think we are familiar with some of this at least. You don't have to memorize, you don't have to know all of this. But here is the example. The type. Okay, media format, the format of the type. So the first one here is audio. Okay, the first one is audio, 3GP, the file type. And then MP3, MP4, MID, WAV, and OGG. Okay, this one is for audio. To be honest, I don't even know all of this, but this is the example. I'm not even familiar. And then picture, this one is JPG, GIF, PNG, BMP. This one is the common file type or format for the picture. And then for the video, 3GP and then the MP4. So here is the link if you want to see the media format. You may check out this link. Okay, so they have a list of this media format. Like I said, you don't have to memorize all, you just need to know a few. I think even now you're already familiar to a few type of file or format. So we are going to look at the COD media player. Okay, playing local. Okay, local, that means you don't have to request for like, where is it just now? Yeah, local, that means you don't have to request this internet. It's local in your app or in your device. Okay, so playing local file, media player crack the sound file in your app. Okay, so this is the link. Okay, the location. So media player, apply, set audio stream type. Okay, what you want to do, what is your stream type? So now you want to stream for the music. Okay, so that data source, the URL, and then prepare. This one is for buffering. Yeah, buffering process, the process. Next is releasing the media player. So a media player can consume valuable system resources. Yes, correct. They can consume your system resources. So always call function, release function, to make sure any system resources allocated to it are properly released. So for example, here media player release. Okay. So this function is to ensure all the system or any system resources are properly released. Okay, to avoid them to consume our resources. Actually, the answer is here already. This one is the first one, this one is the second one. This is the function. Okay, so this one you have another question. You are free to use any media codec in your Android app. Comment on this app. So okay, I will explain this one. Okay, just now I mentioned about this term. Okay, CODEC. Okay, so this is actually a media. Yeah, of course it is a media. So it is a media or it is a class. Okay, it can be considered as a class in the backend there. It is a class that we can use to access low level media. Yeah, low level media. Okay, so at the back end, this is like a class. So they support many file. They support many multimedia file. For example, the extractor, the media sync. Okay, so that's why you are free to use any media code deck in your app. Open on this app. Okay, so next is sensor. Yeah, I think I haven't asked you guys what is for today. What do you think? What is sensor, or what we use? What is the function? What are the function? What is the use of sensor? Or what do you know of sensor? Anything that you know about sensor? To get data. Yeah. Yes. Correct, Maya. That is one of the function of sensor. Okay. Sensor. Before we answer. Okay. Sensor is a device. Okay. Usually it is an electronic device that we use to get an input. Input here we can refer to a data. Okay, like Noel said, a real time data, right? To get data in real time. Yes, to get data in real time. Data as in input. So that's why here you can see this is other categories of your sensor. Yeah, sensor. First is motion. Motion is like any movement. And then environmental. Okay, environmental, maybe they can take, you can use a sensor for environmental monitoring. For example, the sensor that they use for to check the air quality. Air quality, I think you know we have what we call as air quality index. So they're going to use this sensor so they can declare if the quality index for today is good, moderate, or bad. Okay, basically they are using sensor. But of course, this sensor already implement with what we call as IoT, not only using sensor. And then position. Position, I don't think I have to explain more. It's the last chapter, LBS, location based service. Okay. For example, the Grab car. Grab. Grab, right? We have Grab. Yeah, Grab car. Okay. So this is the categories of sensor. So sensor. What sensor? More sensor? Why sensor? So sensor, like I said, sensor is basically the device, electronic device that we use to get data. Data is in the input. And then more sensor, more sensor to use. Okay, sometimes for certain application, okay, for example, the robot vacuum cleaner, okay, they have more than one sensor, different type or different function of sensor. Your smart home, okay, smart home, the name smart home, of course, they have a lot of sensor. And then why sensor? Because sensor can be used without the human to monitor it. Okay, we go back to the simple example, the vacuum. You don't have to monitor the vacuum. They will do the work. So let's go to the first one, motion. It's not except movement, right? Sounds so wrong. But motion sensor here is measure acceleration, force, and rotational force along three axes. So accelerometer, so hard to pronounce, gyroscope. Yeah, gyroscope and rotational vector sensor. Okay, to be honest, if you ask me, all of these things I do not know in detail. This accelerometer, I think it is to detect the acceleration. Acceleration, that means it is accelerate. No, I know this from my physics last time. Acceleration is the increase of speed. Yes. So I think accelerometer is the sensor that they use to detect the increase of speed. Okay. So gravity sensor, gyroscope, and rotational vector sensor. So this is the motion sensor. Okay. To detect or to measure the acceleration force and rotational force along three axes. So this one is the motion sensor. For example, this one, oh yeah, I want to share with you. This one, there is an app that you can use, okay, you can install and you can use to detect the speed. For example, if you are in train or if you are in flight, okay, to know what is the speed, what is the acceleration of the flight of the aeroplane. Okay, there's such thing, they apply this sensor. That means they can detect the speed. So maybe this is the example. Okay, so this is what we call as our smartwatch. Smartwatch. Okay, so this is a device. I think you know smartwatch, but actually, yeah, this is only a sharing. Actually, this smartwatch actually because I ask people that are working with this smartwatch, is it reliable? Because for smartwatch, here they can detect your BP, your blood pressure. Okay, your blood pressure, what else they can detect in our smartwatch? I don't remember. But one of the things they can detect is our BP, our blood pressure. Actually, there's like a conflict between this is the medical issue if we can really rely to this device. Okay, so there's like a conflict or an issue. Of course, if it is for normal people, yeah, should be okay. But what if people totally depend on this device to monitor the blood pressure? It's not blood pressure, heartbeat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, your heartbeat, your related to your. I think if you have this smartwatch, I think you know. Yeah, but this thing actually is not that reliable. So if you're not in a good condition, don't rely on this device because there are some conflict between the team, not only one team actually, the provider of this device with the medical team actually. Okay, because some people they are totally rely on this. They see if it is normal, so they are okay, but actually they are not. Okay, next is environmental sensor. Yeah, heartbeat tempo. I use that watch, but I don't even check that function. Next is environmental sensor. So measure various environmental parameters such as ambient air, temperature and pressure, illumination and humidity. Like I said just now, they use this sensor. Even in Malaysia, we have this one, but I'm not sure from which department, but yes, we have this application. They use sensor to check the air quality of index. Okay, so here they have barometer, photometer, and thermometer. Okay, this is the example. I cannot explain this because I do not know to, but I know this sensor because this is what we call as IoT, Internet of Things. When you apply this technology into another thing. So this is our device. Okay, you have infrared camera, flood illuminator, proximity sensor, ambient light, speaker, microphone, 7MP, and dot projector. Okay, I'm not sure in this device. Actually, in every of our device, they will have one, infrared, okay? Infrared. If you block the infrared light, your phone actually cannot work properly. Your handphone, your smartphone cannot function properly. Okay, I found out this thing because I tend to cover my camera, both front and the back camera with something. So I usually get this notification, please do not block this infrared because they will like disturb the operation of our camera, of our device. Next is position center. Okay, position center is the LBS. So measure the physical position of a device. Okay, your tracker, it's like tracker. So orientation sensor and magnetometer. Okay, this one, you can use you can see the example in Grab Food or Food Panda. Yeah, Grab Food or Food Panda. You know the location of your rider. Where are they? Okay, like the physical position. But if you notice, actually, if you notice the Grab Food or Food Panda or even our Grab, right? They state that they are real time. Actually, there's a gap. Gap, I mean, yeah, they declare as a real time. That means we know, for example, they are already at Alam Mesra, but actually the position, they have a delay. Okay, it's not really a real time in exact time. There's a delay, maybe in second, but they still call it as a real time. But that one is acceptable because not critical. For airplane, yeah, I want to share with you. For if you ever heard about black box in the airplane, okay, that one is used the real time. Okay, all the communication with the air traffic controller and the pilot, they are all real time. The location of the plane, they are all real time, the exact location. Because the airplane, the system, that's what we call as critical system. For GrabFood, Foodpanda, they are not critical system. That's why they have delay in second. Okay, so this is the example, orientation sensor and magnetometers. If you ask me to explain all of these sensor, I do not know. Okay, maybe you can explore in Google. Oh, okay, so this one is the last part. Mobile devices are equipped with sensor and hardware components. Discuss how mobile app could utilize this sensor or hardware components to provide unique experience to user. Use a suitable example to explain your answer. That's mean implementation of sensor or hardware components. Okay, sensor. So this one, I think we should take around 5 minutes or 5 minutes to discuss. This one I will expect, I won't assign, but I'm expecting an answer. I won't assign to any particular student, but please answer this and share in our message box there. Sensor and hardware components. Yeah, I'm expecting an answer. So by 10:47, 10:46, I hope someone send the answer in the message box. Sure, right? You need to relate this function with the user experience. Okay? Let's do the discussion here. I think this is like a combination. Never mind. We will do the discussion together. So here, this question asks you what mobile device are equipped with sensor and hardware components. Okay. So first, that is what we call as IoT. We implement sensor into our device in hardware component. Hardware component not necessarily our smartphone. Hardware component, the vacuum cleaner, your in smart home actually there's a lot of this hardware, okay, where you implement this sensor into your hardware. So discuss how mobile app could utilize this sensor, how our app can utilize this sensor or hardware component to provide a unique experience to user. So this one, the IoT and then the UX, you need to combine these two things. Use suitable example to explain your answer. Mobile app. The one that mobile app sensor. I cannot think of an example, but the one that I can relate is, the one that I can relate is my friends, the project, the FIP project, the one I said. Okay, they don't use the sensor. They don't implement any sensor. Yeah, they don't use, correct. They don't use the sensor, but instead they just use the photo, the camera photo. That means it's easier for the user experience. Like I said, the user don't have to Google that particular type of plant. Instead, they can just take the photo of a plant. But if you want to set the use of sensor, I think I remember last time during my degree, but this one is not FYP. Yeah, this one is not FYP. This is just assignment where we need to develop an application, okay, but we need to apply the sensor. That means we were assigned to get the data using that sensor. Then of course we link that sensor, any data that we receive from that sensor, and then the sensor will send information to our application. I think last time was the temperature, if I'm not mistaken. But it's related to the environment because it's the environment. Yeah, I think it's the temperature. So we get the information from the sensor, and then the sensor will send the information that they get through our application. Okay, so this one is actually the application of the sensor with our application last time is like helping to send data. to send the data to our application. I don't remember, but I think I remember we did this one time. Okay, unique experience to user. That means the user can use that application to get the temperature of that area. I think that's all I can relate because this one is like combination of few things already. Okay, so that's my explanation for this question. Okay, the use of that application, that sensor that we link with our app. So the sensor will get the input as the temperature and then they will send us the record as the output, the data. Okay, so we can use that application to check the temperature of that particular location. But of course, we only get the data, we only get the information is only on a certain location where we have that sensor. So yeah, that's the end of this chapter. So the conclusion is explain the basic requirement of the camera app and then identify and explain other hardware or sensor app that could capture image and video, implement app that can play audio and video file. So these 4 points we already studied in this chapter 6. So that's the end of chapter 6, specialized instrument and device, your camera, your sensor, or what you can do with your camera, or what you can use with sensor. What's the example of the sensor in application? Okay, we already covered in chapter 6. So for chapter 6, is there any question? Lim, do you have question? Lim, Calvin Chuck, Konken Chuck, Rachel, Jeremiah, Wong, Daniel? No. So if no question, I think we can end the session now and we have another class in the afternoon for our practical. So see you in our practical class. Okay. Thank you and bye-bye.